So he is quite young, so he's probably a 1-year-old. Oh, he's looking a bit better than the photos.
Much better.
Yeah. So
when I got him, he didn't have any mobility in his back legs.
Yeah.
Floki arrived in October 2020. We're not too sure of his total background, of what actually happened to him. They say he was rescued from people that had him tied up with a rope around his legs to stop him running away. He must have suffered trauma from a motor vehicle accident because he is slightly mentally challenged. But due to him being so young and the rope around his legs, basically his legs haven't formed properly, and as you can see, they're bending totally in. So we need to get a vet to check him out as soon as possible to see what the steps are forward.
We call a luxation of his right hip. So you can actually see both. So he's definitely, it looks like he was somehow kept in an abnormal position, or trauma or something, because his left is also not normal in his socket. He's still young, he's still growing, but this right one is completely out of joint.
Well, as you can see by the x-ray, both of his femurs are pulled completely out of their sockets. They're way too high up there, which is a major problem. So he is going to need surgery to help rectify this if he's got any chance of living a normal life.
Okay, so we just finished at the vet's. The vet took x-ray of the little guy, and he does have some fractures on his skull, and his right leg was dislocated. So at some point he may need an operation to have a femoral head removal, and we're just going to be on our way back to the sanctuary, but she is hopeful for him, and hopefully he can meet some friends at a later stage. So for now he isn't quite fully aware, but it is good news. So let's see how he does, get him back to the sanctuary. And she said,
well, now all we can really do is start building up the strength in little Flokes and try and get him as strong as possible for the upcoming surgery. Make him comfortable as possible, and just see how it goes. But you can see how his legs are folding or caving in completely. He still can get around by hopping, but of course it can't be very, very comfortable because the legs are pressing up, not inside the sockets, and this kind of on the side of the sockets, so not very, very nice for him, and it would cause massive problems in his future. So it's going to be quite a lot. In the meantime, we're starting to collect funds to see if we can get this operation organized for him, see if he's going to get some improvements. But of course little Floki's also got his own little antics, and carrying on. He's quite a crazy little monkey. As we say, he is a little bit not all there, so he does things in his own Floki type of way. Well, after all assessments have been made, little Floki's moved down to Disneyland just to see how he gets on there, give him a little bit of space and so he can get some exercise. And as you can see, Floki does it in his own little style. This little guy certainly does love his milk. I don't think he was getting quite enough in his younger days, so whenever you put milk down, he comes running and just practically jumps into the bowl, and then ends up with this very cute little milk moustache of his that he's very well known for.
So first thing in the morning, I've got little Floki with me, and it's Floki's time to go to the vet to get his legs looked at to see what we can do. We think he's going to need a femoral head removal, on his right leg, and we're not quite sure what the vet wants to do with the left, and we'll see when he gets a look at it.
Well, the worst leg was operated on, and the head removed on the femur to see how it goes. And of course things did go very well with the operation. We got little Floki back out and back at home. So now it's just going to take a bit of exercising to see how things go, and hopefully everything goes well from this point on, and he develops the required muscles that is needed for him to get around properly. We do of course have to contain Floki a little bit in the initial stages while his leg heals a little bit. It does take a little bit of a while for him to build up the required strength that he needs, and we do have to be careful that he's not climbing and jumping around too much, because this could also cause the leg not to take properly. We have had this operation done on 1 or 2 other monkeys very, very successfully, so we do hope this is going to have very positive results for Floki. Well, we've had to restrict little Floki's movement quite a lot, so we can't let him go running around while everything sets in place. He has got some little friends coming to visit him, playing around with Punam and the gang, and but we just can't let him run off with them or go very far. He has to stay close, and somebody just has to make sure he's not hopping around for the first couple of days, just while that leg heals a bit and sets in properly. But of course little Flokes is not happy about this. You can see his little face there. He's a little bit upset and looking like, what the heck's going on? He doesn't quite understand what's happening to him and why everybody else can run around and he can't.
Hey. So as you can see, Floki's getting very angry with the fact that his movement is got to be restricted while he's recovering from his surgery.
Floki just loves his food, and he's not really known to share it. I'm not too sure if that comes from his first year, when he wasn't getting such a varied diet, and most probably was getting a very strict sustenance. I'm not too sure what he was actually being fed at that time, but he just loves his food. It's really, he looks forward to it, and I'm actually surprised he's here with little Punam, sharing a little bit of his food, but you can see every now and again he gets a little bit irritated, a bit scared that somebody's going to get some of the choice pieces and he's going to miss out. Floki's always loved the new little ones that have come in and been a great help looking after them and putting them in their place, and he's been like the big brother, always there to make sure they're okay and doing well, and helping those that are like pressured or pushed down to the bottom, but really like a nice big brother, ready to play and help everybody where he can. And in true Floki fashion, he didn't go to sleep while all the little babies are sleeping. He was there keeping watch out for them, making sure they're all safe, sleeping well, and there was no danger around. So yeah, you can see him keeping watch, even though he's a little bit tired. He's making sure all his charges are doing okay, and that there's no danger for them to worry about while he keeps lookout.
That's good. Perfect. Yeah, you can pull it out. Perfect.
They have got tight, haven't they?
Yeah, we wouldn't want to leave them in any longer.
Well, the wound's healed up very, very nicely and the stitches are all coming out. Floki behaving himself as much as he can.
Gloves are too big. Hey. Okay.
All done, boy.
Done.
You're
See.
a legend.
Looks very good.
Just take this away.
Good boy. No more stitches.
I think Mox just wants to take a shot at him.
Remy. Go on, buddy.
I get my friends out. We want to party.
Again, Floki on guard in the afternoon while the rest of the little guys all catch up on their nap after a bit of playing and running around and having a whale of a time. And now it's time to rest. You can see he's kind of sleepy himself, but he forces himself to stay awake, just making sure everybody's okay. So he's really got a heart of gold, this little monkey. Loves the other ones, loves playing and getting around with everybody. Even though he's probably suffering himself and been set back so much, he's always there to do something for everybody else. Well, due to being such a messy eater, and of course his coordination is not very good. So Floki tends to get himself all full of whatever his food is, from the milk to his special juices that he's drinking, and of course he gets all sticky and his fur gets all knotted up. So it is essential every now and again that we give him a nice little bit of a bath. Not that he enjoys it, I must admit. He doesn't think it's the best thing out there, but it is essential for him. So unfortunately every now and again we just have to do this and put him through it and make sure he's nice and clean for the rest of the day. It does last a little bit of a while until you put his food bowl down, of course, and then he just sort of does a nosedive into everything.
Good boy.
Yeah, he's not trying to run away yet. Yeah. You just wash your face while you're here. No, it's okay. You just gotta grab. Okay. I'll clean your face later. Yeah. That's it. Not the most thorough job in the world, but it's a fine balance between upsetting him too much and, you know.
So this is the first time that Floki is coming up to Calypso's corner and meeting his new family. Hey boy. Cuddy's not too sure, but Cuddy will be grabbed and brought down to sick bay in about 30 minutes. Oh, she's coming closer.
Well, Floki's all fluffy because he's been bathed and he's looking all shiny to meet some of his new friends, or Cuddy. Not that Cuddy can actually see what he looks like, but at least maybe he smells a lot better than what he normally does. So we just hope they are going to like each other. It will help quite a lot because this is where Floki should be going with the others, and this is the initial meeting just to see how things go. Cuddy does seem to be very, very interested, and he's touching him and sniffing him and everything. So that should be a good start to the whole program.
Good boy. So also, not only is this the first time he's visiting Calypso, it's his first time on dirt. Because he's been in Disneyland, oh sorry boy, in Disneyland, Neverland, and now Sick Bay. So he's never actually been on the sand and dirt until now. He was struggling at first. Hey Bow Bow. Hi Bow. Oh, and here comes Shasta. He seems to be a little frightened of Shasta. It's okay, my boy.
Well, we've now moved Floki and Cuddy into Sick Bay to see how they get along. It's a lot easier when there's just the two of them, and just to see how they can form a bond, just to see how things are going before we try and introduce everyone to the main enclosure.
So this is R3 from Calypso. So lying down here, we have Cuddy. There we have Cuddy with her best friend Lilo, who is just giving her a nice groom. So Cuddy is brain damaged and Lilo is partially blind. That's why she was struggling to groom. Now Cuddy slip smacking, trying to groom Lilo. No Lilo. And then in the back we have Floki, who will be joining Calypso. Lilo. So the three are just getting settled for the night. So this is the cage that Cuddy and Floki are going to Calypso in. They will stay in this cage for a few hours just before Floki gets released, just so the others can kind of meet him, but not him still be kind of safe, especially since we have JB, a full-grown male, and Floki likes to have screaming temper tantrums. So as you can see, Floki thinks it's playtime, and Cuddy's very confused and stressed about being inside the cage. So she is nipping him, she's not biting him very hard. This is also how she plays. And Lilo's already gone, Mark's just taken her. I'm just waiting for someone to come and help me lift this cage, because it's quite large.
So Floki didn't do so well in Calypso's corner. We brought him back to Disneyland, and he's busy getting some exercises for his leg to see how things are going. Unfortunately, Shasta was a little bit too much of a bully and being a little bit too rough for him, so it's a bit too early for him to mix with them. We're still worried a little bit about his leg. You can see he's doing a lot better. At least he's walking on it and getting around, which is very, very important. And getting his exercises is also important. So we're trying to make sure he gets as much exercise as possible without having too much trauma done to the operation. Well, now you can understand why Floki needs a bath every now and again. You can see he's covered head to toe in beetroot juice. But of course he does love his food, that's the main thing, and he really does enjoy eating it. You can still see his coordination is not very good. We're getting worried about his leg. It doesn't seem to be getting, although he is jumping around a lot better, it's not as good as we thought it would be. So we are going to have to send him back in to have a checkup and see what's going on. We're not too sure if it's aligned properly or he's got further problems there, but he's still not jumping and moving around as well as he should be. A dried prey mantis treat for Floki. This was found on one of our electrified fences, and we now and again feed them to a lot of the monkeys. They really do enjoy them.
What do you think you're doing, mister? You know you're not allowed milk. You know that milk's for the girls.
Floki getting treatment from a therapist, or a therapist trying to give Floki some treatment. You can still see he's crossing his legs quite heavily, and also hopping. So we're just going to have to see. We're going to take him back through to the vet and just get a few more x-rays done and see how things go.
So we're just here at the vets with Mr. Floki. He's having a follow-up x-ray because his legs haven't been doing so well lately on his right leg, where he had the femoral head removal over a year ago. So we're just getting the vet to check him out and perhaps give him some x-rays as well.
Well, you can see on the x-ray that it hasn't done what it should have done, so he's going to have to go back in again.
So there he is having a reunion. Floki will need specialist care again after his surgery and rehabilitation, but you can see he's quite happy now. And hopefully the surgery will make him much stronger for his adult life as well. So we've got to get him right so he can enjoy a good quality of adult life. Thank you everybody who has been virtually adopting Calypso's Corner, which does include Floki and gang. It really does help, and it's going to help towards his surgery as well. You can still virtually adopt him and go online at Calypso's Corner. And also for any donations that people have given towards his surgery as well. It really does help with these things.
Here we have Floki. He's currently in a crush cage in the back of Disneyland, recovering from his second surgery. When he is well enough and moving well enough, he will move to main Disneyland so he can get some more exercise. But for now, his movement's quite limited. And he's getting a little massage from one of our volunteers just to help those muscles around the surgery site, help him get his strength back and keep the circulation going.
So Floki's going to have restricted movement and take it a lot easier and slower than we did the first time around, because he's not going to get a chance after this.
If you can just let him go a little bit, just see how he moves. Okay, so that's what it is at the moment. Okay.
Well, here we have Floki in the back of Disneyland enjoying his morning milk. He gets 60 ml of milk each morning just to help his recovery. Protein will help him heal a lot faster. And as you can see, he absolutely loves it. Gets a big milk beard every morning.
And here's Floki. So if Floki needs anything else, then Ellie's doing a fundraiser to raise funds for whatever he needs.
It's amazing how he's using the leg though in that video.
He really tries.
But it's gonna take
He's
longer
still in that
because-
small cage.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we're gonna see if we can move into a bigger cage then.
Yeah, I mean, he could have like kind of this space, this size area. So I don't know what you think about that.
Okay. That's amazing. And look, he's getting his muscles back. Look at that. Oh, that feels good.
Good.
There you go. So all you do is
We
your
can
thumb
do
on,
more. Okay.
yeah, and also front and back. And you can actually, with him, he's getting nice muscle.
Okay.
So you can actually, in nice big circles.
Great.
There you go. You see, it goes almost in and out. It's not touching at all.
Okay.
Previously, it was scratching. Not
Perfect.
at all. It's beautiful.
Okay, so we can
and
be a
then,
bit
yes,
firmer.
and then same here as well, like
Up
that,
and down.
and then out. But always, I always say,
Hold
support.
there. Okay.
You see, oh, it's beautiful. Look
There
at
we
that.
go.
You can't believe the range of motion. He didn't have this at all.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And like again like this. It's amazing. I mean, remember last time he couldn't even open his leg like this. Beautiful. Look at that, hey my boy. Yeah, and that's all you do with him.
Okay,
Just that
so-
basic, but he's already getting muscle back.
Okay. And how often again? Just the same?
Yeah,
with
the
others?
same. I always say about in the beginning twice a day, and
Right.
then always stepping on it, pressing on it. Oh, it's amazing.
Now, Floki's being returned, and as the vet said, we're just going to carry on with his exercises, and we're going to do them twice a day so that he can still get stronger by the day. So it's still going to take some time, but at least he can continue his exercises and it's progress moving forward. Come on in, Floki, there you go. Hey, there you go.
I can definitely feel like the muscle back here.
He's got quite a bit of muscle now, which is great. More than he had before, I think.
Do it this way.
He's getting used to this, isn't he? Much calmer than he was the first time.
Looks like a little chicken leg. So we have the stretch, the cycling.
That's all for him.
Okay.
Just spend quite a bit of time on it and then
Right, so minimal preparations. Given him a little platform which will raise up a little bit. But for now we'll just get him out.
So Disneyland has been modified for Floki at the moment. It's not easy to see, but there is special shade netting put around to a certain height. You can actually see the differentiation in color so that he can't climb up the fences and he use his leg on it. There's been special low platforms put down so he can practice climbing up and down as he builds more strength in the leg. Of course, some natural forage for him to enjoy. and he's got this bigger space now that he can run around and exercise a bit, which is very, very important for building the extra muscle in his leg, and strengthening it so it doesn't bend so much to the inside. We need to make sure it starts sticking outside. So there you go, you can see him already trying to use his little platform and climb on it, which is great. So we'll slowly see how his progress goes from there. The vets are very, very happy with everything so far, so it looks like he is well on his way to recovery, and I don't think he's going to get full use of his legs like all other monkeys, but at least it's not going to be painful, and he'll be able to do a lot of stuff that he couldn't do before.
Oh dear. Floki's loving his new area in Disneyland. He's got all these ramped small areas that he can climb, and he's using his leg much better. So he's got sun all day long if he wants it, and places to climb up. Still have to keep them low, but it's really been good for him. Look at that, amazing compared to how he was before. Breakfast with Floki. Floki gets 2 plates in the morning. He gets the seeds and nuts, which he's currently devouring, and he gets a nice plate of fruits and veggies. The protein sources that the seeds and nuts give are really good for repair, which is good for his little leggies and his muscles after his big operation a few months ago.
Well, we didn't want Floki to be on his own all this time, so the next biggest thing was moving Cuddy over to make sure he's got a companion. Cuddy is a little bit older, but they have got on very, very well, so we're reuniting them again to see how they go. It'll also help Floki get a lot more exercise, that he's got somebody to play with and compete with, and he's not going to feel so lonely on this big massive enclosure. So we're just bringing Cuddy over now, and then we'll introduce them, and we'll see how things progress and go from there.
Cuddy's just moved to Disneyland and about to meet Floki. Here he comes. Mr. Floki's got a friend. So Cuddy hasn't been climbing too well, and she hasn't been that happy or looking content with the others in Calypso's corner, and the fact that she doesn't climb so well means that Floki can have a new friend, which works out probably better for both of them. Breakfast time with Floki and Cuddy. They did start with the opposite plate, but they like to swap. Or should I say, Cuddy likes to swap and Floki has to move. You can see the two ways their head injuries and brain damage present. Floki is unable to do hand-to-mouth eating, but Cuddy is. All head injuries are different, so you can see how this presents, which makes them a nice match.
Well, Floki needs to do his stretches and exercises every now and again, and as you can see, he's not always very compliant. He doesn't always want to do them, even though it is good for them. And once he starts getting into it, he does really enjoy it, especially the head massages and things afterwards. But just trying to get him into the position to get his leg exercised and stretched can take a little bit of time and can be a little bit problematic. Here we got him eating a cabbage leaf. As you all know, food is one of Cuddy's favourite things. Most times we're filming him, you can catch him eating something or other, and he really and truly enjoys his wide variety of food that he's able to get.
So Floki gets his own little plate now, because otherwise he screams at Cuddy, which is quite loud and very unnecessary, isn't it, Flokes? So he gets his own little plate to appease him, whereas Cuddy gets the full rice plate. Look, he cuts. As you can see, she loves her protein, which is good because both Cuddy and Floki could do with putting on some weight. That was the old switcheroo to Floki's. And Floki's gone to Cuddy's. And Floki's back to Floki's plate. Sharing is caring, as they say. And Cuddy is back to Cuddy's plate.
Liposuction.
just finished Floki's stretches and he's decided to take himself to bed. You want a siesta? Floki siesta? So this is Floki and Cuddy's bed for the time being in the back of Disneyland. It's just a little bread crate on bricks with lots and lots of blankets, and then it's got lots and lots of blankets in the corner acting as draft excluders, then a nice waterproof tent top. They do like to snuggle in here at night. Floki, Cuddy, a teddy bear and a hot water bottle, and they get rather upset if you disturb them. Good boy. Oh, we found a stray raisin. So Floki gets a lot of raisins for his stretches, mostly as a little reward, but also to keep him busy. So Ellie holds him and holds the raisins in her hands, and he eats the raisins. Sometimes this one, little Miss Cudster, likes to steal the raisins. She won't eat raisins if you give them to her, but when Floki has them for his stretches, she will steal them from him.
Well, you can see some nice natural forage here for Floki, and also the movement and seeing how well he's moving around again and hopping. We're very happy with the way his legs going. Cuddy just to come see if there's anything special that she's missing out on. She is the one that's more dominant, and Floki just moves out the way for her, and sometimes screams if she takes all the nice food. Sometimes she even takes stuff she's not going to eat, just to spite him, I think, in the end of the day. But you can see his movements coming on a lot better. He's jumping around a lot easier. He is actually managing to climb up small elevations, so we will be working on that more. So far the second surgery has done quite a lot of things for him. He's definitely building up the muscle capacity that he needs, and we are happy that he can progress further now. It is going to be slow, and we are now trying to raise funds to actually build a special enclosure for Floki and Cuddy, that they have a special place that they can go, that we have the right ramps and things like this in it, and that they are a lot more comfortable together, because we will be using Disneyland shortly. Another 2 or 3 months, the little orphans will be coming in again, and the whole new season will be going. So it's important for us to raise funds. If you guys can help in any of this manner, we would really appreciate it, to spread our GoFundMe fundraiser to see if we can collect the funds to build these guys a beautiful new enclosure.